Good morning, California Democrats. You know, like so many of you, I've been coming to these conventions for 17 years. I've been here as a delegate and an activist, and now I'm so honored to welcome you to Los Angeles and to my district, the 46th Assembly District, which I proudly represent in the State Assembly. I hope you all had a chance to enjoy the taco truck throwdown yesterday. And I certainly hope you all had a chance to relax and enjoy Los Angeles over these last couple of days. Because starting today, we have no more time to waste. This is a time for action. Clearly, this is an urgent moment for California, one where our democratic values are on the line. Once again, Governor Schwarzenegger's government is running a multi-billion-dollar deficit, and once again, he and his allies are threatening to eviscerate the social services that we need in order to close the deficit that his very policies have created. They're doing this at a time when the unemployment rate is sky high. 2.3 million Californians are out of work. 12.5% of our state is unemployed. And in some parts of the Central Valley, the unemployment rate exceeds 40%. These numbers don't even include the people who've been unemployed so long that they don't get counted in the statistics. People who are struggling to get by on jobs that no longer fully provide for their family. And our budget has been ravaged by this recession. And the collective structural flaws have now twice threatened to push our state into insolvency. And now, as the campaign season unfolds, we see what our friends in the Republican Party are offering as solutions. More of the same. Now, on the one hand, I'm glad that the Republicans have finally started to recycle. It's too bad that the only thing that they choose to recycle are their tired old ideas. More tax cuts that won't get us out of the recession, but will further drown us in red ink. More spending cuts that won't balance our budget, but will stifle long-term growth. More attacks on working families and the environment that won't move our state forward. But you have to give the Republicans credit. They're doing a phenomenal job of pretending like they're serious about solving California's problems. But we have to ask ourselves if they're really serious. Is the party that treats the United States Senate as a golden parachute for failed CEOs really serious about solving the problems of our nation? Is the party that treats the governor's office as a landing pad for billionaires who are too bored with firing their employees in order to raise their stock prices serious about creating jobs and fixing our budget? I think you all know the answer. The answer is hell no. Our mission this year is to show the people of California that there's one party that's serious about overcoming the enormous challenges facing our state, and that party is the Democratic Party. Now this is going to take a lot of hard work, and rightfully so. Every 2 years, people choose us to lead the state because we remind them that our values are California values. When the Republicans say that California has a spending problem, we need to ask them what they'd prefer to cut. Education for our children or health care for the elderly? Should we throw the mental health patients on the street or eliminate fire protection services? How about whether we should close our universities or our prisons? When the Republicans patronizingly say that they'll run California like a business, I ask them to name a single business that requires a 2/3 approval from their shareholders in order to buy a stapler. And I want to personally remind the governor that the hardworking people who provide in-home supportive services to California's sick and disabled are saving taxpayers far more money by providing the support that keeps these people out of expensive nursing homes. You see, Our challenge is clear. Our challenge is to remind Californians that we're fighting for their future by defending their opportunities. When I was sworn in as Speaker, I said we need to focus like a laser beam on job creation. Until our job market recovers and our unemployment rate falls, our budget situation will not be stabilized. We have to be creative, and we have to seek out opportunities to create new jobs. Just a few weeks ago, the legislature passed a measure that exempts equipment to manufacture green technology from sales tax. And clearly, the most meaningful place for cooperation is in reform. I've said repeatedly, this has to be a year of real reform, of meaningful, long-lasting reform. And I know that this is challenging. The fact is that the reform proposal unveiled by the Democratic legislative leaders contains